Alright, Mike's again. Looks like he rearranged some of the furniture. I brought a carburetor and stuff. I'm gonna. You say, Mike?
Who's that?
I got you a box of carburetors here.
Oh man.
Where can I put it?
That's what we need.
Right here?
Yeah, set it right there on the GB.
Alright, here you go. This is what I remember Charlie Stewart. I bought this from Charlie.
That was the best deal ever right there.
Yeah.
Huh.
I also brought some brooches here for you.
Oh, for the flywheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got those. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, I brought these for Mike. Mike said, let me see the head, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Mike called me and said he did a lot of work on the head.
Right, well, I made the 2 valve guides. These are bearing bronze. They're, all complete, done. So...
Oh yeah, you got the holes on the side?
Yeah, they got the head bowl holes drilled, and the exhaust port is drilled and threaded. That's 1/2-inch pipe thread, just like the original engine had.
Right.
So, and you can see the port through the valve port there. It's all done. Well, that's done. So now I've got to drill the intake port and drill the spark plug hole. Okay. So moving along.
So you would have been done this if we had the carburetors, but the carburetors were at my house.
Yeah, well, we wanted to talk about that, and we're still not quite sure what we're going to use for a carburetor, are we?
No, initially I wanted to go with this, Mike, but then that's going to look way too awkward, too big.
Yeah, that's going to be mounted something like that. So it would be this, a muffler, and then you'd have your rockers over here.
A spark plug and a rocker.
Right, yeah.
Too much going on.
Yeah, it wouldn't look right having everything like this up high above the engine because the block itself is small. So.
Okay. All right, let's see what we got. That's an oil pump. You don't want that.
No.
You got take some of this stuff out, Mike.
Let's see what we got here.
What the hell is that, Mike? L. That's off an L.
It is. It is off an L.
I was thinking maybe a Y.
Got a couple of those in here.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? This is a WM carburetor. This is what I was thinking because it's a bit smaller than this WI carburetor, and they never did have they don't really have an air filter on them, so it's a bit smaller. It mounts with a flange, but then we run into clearance issues. We'd have to have an elbow or a spacer, and I think that still might be awkward.
Right,
so.
exactly.
The Model Y idea is a good one.
Here's a Y.
Yeah, that's a good one. So the thing with the Model Y is that it's similar in a way to the FH Briggs or the F series because it uses this tube here to go from the little mixer carburetor itself up to the intake. So here's one without the tube. So the air goes in here, it mixes with the fuel, and then it goes up to the combustion chamber. I think something like this would be nice because if you have the head up on the engine, we could mount this down on the block, which is how it is on the Y.
Matter of fact, that's actually it's got 2 bolt holes in the back there.
Yeah,
you can actually mount that where you want. Right,
it's made to bolt right up to whatever, and then have a tube, just like the FH has, come up, and then go right into the head. It could be just a press fit in the head, just like it is on it is on the FH.
Yeah.
So it will be roughly, I don't know,
like
it's hard to say, something like that perhaps.
Probably, yeah. You're not talking that much suction. You're only going to talk 6 inches, maybe.
No, it would work fine, really.
What about gas tank? You got a gas tank?
Yeah, these use a little suction gas tank. I think I just happen to have one right here, actually.
It's like a WM.
A WM.
That would be ideal.
This come off of a Model Y. Anything that you use that little suction pickup. It's got the little pickup tube here with the check valve in it. So this is what the Model Y would have used originally, and yeah, when you think about it,
that's actually in pretty good shape.
Yeah,
a few dents.
That was a $5 purchase right there.
Wow.
Jacktown.
That's a $50 gas tank, buddy.
Yeah, nice.
Give that the road can. I'm going to do some body work on that. All right. We'll take care of that, buddy.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, that's going to look good.
You know what? Let me see the flywheels. Let me explain what's going on with the flywheels.
You got the pause there out in the truck.
All right.
All right.
Hold on, guys. All right. Mike's got the flywheels here.
Gate.
But first, why don't you put them springs in, Mike? Let's see what it looks like. Real quick.
All right.
The gate's not open.
Latch it.
That's the intake. That looks good.
Yep.
It's coming along pretty good. Yeah, Mike spent all day yesterday, right? Took a day off?
Yeah, yep. Took a day off to enjoy the nice weather finally and get a little bit of work done around the house. So
there you go, look at that. Beautiful, buddy.
Looks
All
good, right?
Let's show them what's going on here. All right, if you guys remember, I made this 5/8, the shaft here. But what happened was, when we put the pulley on the shaft, the pulley is actually oblong. So it's a sloppy fit.
Yeah, it must have been loose on whatever compressor or whatever it was, and it wore it out.
Yeah.
So even though the shaft is accurate, the pulley is not.
So with me and Mike are going to, well, actually Mike, honestly, I don't know why I said me, but Mike is going to take this, and he's going to clad weld this again, and then cut it down to, what,
11/16.
11/16, which is just a 16th more than 5/8, and then bore this out, and then broach it. Put a broach in there, put a 3/16 keyway.
Yeah, so I can easily bore this out on the lathe, and then I'll cut a keyway in the crankshaft, and then broach a keyway. We got a new guide here. 11/16 is an odd size for a key shaft.
Yeah.
So, but they do make a broach bushing for it, so
Yeah,
it can't be that
3/16.
odd.
Right.
So we'll just, there's a little keyway in there now, but that'll, I think I'll just broach the new keyway right in the place of that, much larger key. So, and we got our Gib keys, which they're still.
That's right, they're at my house.
That's all right.
And then on this side here, Mike was going to cut this down to 5/8, but instead what we're going to do, we usually cut this thread off because we don't need it.
Right.
He's actually going to clad weld that, and you're going to make that 5/16, right? So everything's...
Well, we're going to do both 11/16.
11/16.
So this going 11/16, and we don't need this taper, we don't need this keyway. This whole thing is going to be one shaft, 11/16 diameter with the keyway, and then we'll do the same thing with this flywheel, right? Which actually does have a tapered bore, interestingly. Right. So, right, and we should have just enough meat to put a keyway in there for 11/16 shaft. If I go up to, I think first I'll bore it to 5/8, and if it looks like I have enough material for 11/16, then I'll go to that point. But we don't want to get the hub too thin here,
right.
So I'll go up to 5/8 before I even weld this, and see what it looks like. And if I can go to 11/16, great. If not, no big deal.
Okay. No worries, mate.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to leave you here and let's get back to work, buddy. All right?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Enough of this.
Enough of this.
All right.